Caitlin Clark, it has been revealed that Ice Cube offered her $1.5 million per game. And this is my favorite thing, is that
this is crazy. Caitlin Clark, the superstar who pulled women's basketball out of the shadows and into the spotlight, just rejected a massive $15 million offer from Ice Cube's Big 3 league. The WNBA can finally breathe a sigh of relief, but let's be real. Some jealous players are still demanding equal shine in a story that, truthfully, wouldn't even be possible without her.
Clark, did you turn down $15 million? Oh, that's a boss move. Oh, that's a crazy boss move. I understand. You got Nike deals. You got freaking PGA Golf Tour, Live Golf Tour. You got hockey sponsor. I know you got a lot going on, but to turn down 15 M's, unrivaled. If y'all thought a few million and some equity was going to...
But this isn't just about the paycheck. It's about a 23-year-old phenom choosing loyalty over luxury, fans over fortune, and the future of women's basketball over personal gain. Put it in perspective. While most WNBA players top out at around $249,000 a season, Clark just turned down the kind of money that could buy her a private island, or at the very least, a mansion with a custom basketball court in the backyard.
$15 million. That's life-changing money for anyone, let alone a rookie athlete. So where did this unbelievable offer come from, and why on earth would Caitlin Clark turn it down? So the offer, as you guys can see in the article on the screen, was from the Big 3, the 3-on-3 basketball league founded by the one and only Ice Cube. And the first offer was already huge, a cool $5 million ball. But in a sign of just how desperate they were to get Clark, they tripled it, blowing it up to...
Ice Cube's Big 3 league wasn't tossing Clark a casual check, either. They opened with $5 million, then cranked it up to a jaw-dropping $15 million for just 10 weeks of ball. Do the math, that's $1.5 million per game. Yes, per game. To put it in perspective, the average WNBA player would have to grind for nearly 6 decades to make what Clark was offered for one single matchup.
Caitlin Clark, the Big 3 reportedly offered Caitlin Clark $15 million for 10 games. For 10 games. That is insane. That's wild. And it says she declined. That's a lot of chicken to turn down. I can't lie to you. I can't lie to you. I literally can't. I can't. That is insane. I don't know, bro. $15 million for 10 games. Whew.
And here's the best part. She turned it down. Not a maybe, not a let me think about it, but a clear, straight up no thanks. Because unlike some players taking shots on social media, upset about attention they haven't earned, Caitlin Clark gets it. She understands exactly what this moment means for the future of women's basketball.
Ice Cube, I'm sorry, my precious CC said no. 15 mil to play in your Big 3 league? No, I don't chase the money. Money chased me. You hear me? At the end of the day, she is worth $1 billion. By the time her career ends, I'm telling you, all these other endorsement deals she have, and then make it make sense. Why was she playing a Big 3 against NBA players who are stronger than her, which can injure her? You hear me? She would be the smallest person on the court. That wouldn't even make sense. And then I'm thinking, like, y'all probably would try to embarrass her and all of that, bro. Like, it's a lot of...
Clark said no. She chose the grind of an 82-degree gym in Indiana over the glitz of whatever Ice Cube's Big 3 had lined up. The WNBA didn't just dodge a bullet. They dodged a financial nuclear bomb that could have forced the league to explain why their biggest star walked away for a summer sideshow. While Clark was making what might be one of the most selfless choices in modern sports, some of her peers were too busy sulking about how unfair life suddenly felt. For context, the current WNBA salary cap is just $1.57 million for an entire roster of 11 to 12 players. Meanwhile, Clark's Big 3 deal would have burned through nearly 10 times that number on a single player for only 10 games. The math isn't just wild, it's practically an insult to mathematics itself.
Caitlin Clark, you so much better than me. The WNBA would have never, hey listen, I would have never stepped foot on that court. $1.5 million. per game. Bron don't even make that. And you turned it down for her contract in the WNBA. She gonna make like $400,000 in 4 years. That's the part that I don't really understand about WNBA players. They make so much bread everywhere else. They be making more bread in college. They make more bread overseas. They can make more in Unrivaled, the Big 3. There's so many options, but they still be playing in the WNBA. I don't get it. Go on strike, bro. If there's money like this available, go get it.
Now, let's address the elephant in the arena, jealousy. Dick Vitale, a man who's forgotten more basketball than most players will ever learn, called it exactly what it is: pure envy. Case in point, Clark was voted just 9th among guards by her own peers in All-Star voting, even though she led all fans and ranked 3rd with the media. The message couldn't be clearer. Some players would rather cut off their shooting hand than admit Clark has single-handedly elevated their entire sport.
It looks like when people are jealous of you, look at Caitlin Clark. She is undeniably a great basketball player. That is just a fact. Now, there have been a lot of great basketball players before her, and there will be after her. But what we do know is that she is getting a ton of recognition, and that breeds jealousy. When you shine bright and you're really great at what you do, people come for you more because you are great. Notice how much friction there is on the court. There is always someone going up against her. There's always people taking personal.
Meanwhile, Clark's actual WNBA paycheck is almost laughable, $78,668 for the season. To put that in perspective, that's less than the price tag on some luxury cars. And yet, she's directly responsible for 27% of the league's entire economic activity. One Indiana University economist even calculated that her rookie season alone pumped $36 million into Indianapolis. She's generating the kind of revenue that rivals small nations, but the WNBA is paying her like she's managing the night shift at a Dairy Queen. And her response? Pure class. While players like A.J.A. Wilson are strategically leaking their contract offers just to stay in the headlines, Clark shrugs it all off with jokes about not paying $10 for in-flight Wi-Fi because she's too cheap. This is a woman who just walked away from $15 million, yet she's worried about the cost of internet on a Delta flight. That's not just humble, that's transcendent. What makes it even more remarkable is the choice itself. Clark could have easily said forget the WNBA, a league that underpays her by orders of magnitude, players that resent her success, and media critics who constantly question if she deserves the spotlight. Any rational person would have taken the money and bolted. But Clark isn't operating on basic logic. She's playing the long game. She's a visionary.
NBA's jealousy of Caitlin Clark has never been more obvious as players vote her the 9th best guard. Yes, you read that right, bro. The WNBA just had their All-Star voting return, and the players voted Caitlin Clark as the 9th best guard in the league. Mind you, this is the same Caitlin Clark that came in breaking every record. She putting up numbers that have never been done in WNBA history. She literally has the entire league on her back. Look down here. This is how many votes she got from the fans. Look, she got 1.2 million All-Star votes. Not only is that a WNBA record, but it breaks her own record from last year when she got 700,000 as a rookie. And this, look, for reference, the top 30 vote getters for the 2023 All-Star game got.
Clark knows her worth isn't just measured in dollars and cents. It's in the little girls now dreaming of hitting logo threes, and the moms planning family outings around WNBA games. She's focused on the bigger picture, building something lasting for women's basketball in America, not just cashing in on a quick payday. And the results are staggering. Her debut game pulled in 2.1 million viewers, the biggest WNBA audience in over 20 years. Crowds at her games have shattered attendance records that stood since the league's birth. The Indiana Fever, a team that drew just 81,000 fans in all of 2023, topped that number in their first 5 home games with Clark. When the Mystics had to move their matchup with the Fever from a 4,100-seat gym to a 20,300-seat arena, and it still sold out, it wasn't just a game, it was a cultural event. Families drove across states, kids wore Clark jerseys to school, and suddenly women's basketball became water cooler talk in offices nationwide. But the stat that says it all? WNBA merchandise sales jumped 266% year-over-year. Not 26%. Not 36%. 266. That's not growth, it's an economic explosion. And it all comes back to one player who chose to build a future for the game instead of grabbing the biggest check on the table.
Endorsement deals must be pretty decent for her to willingly turn that down, because we know her WNBA salary is nothing to brag about. But for her to do that, I guess I look at it like this. If she were to have accepted that before she even stepped foot on a WNBA court, I could only imagine how they would have treated her. I don't even think she would have made it through half the season. She would have had a season-ending injury for sure. With how rough they were treating her as a rookie and fouling her and just being aggressive with her in comparison to other players. I don't think she would have made it through the season as a rookie. So I guess in a sense that may be a blessing in disguise. It's hard to say a blessing in disguise when you lose out on 15 M's, but nobody knows.
While Clark was busy turning down generational wealth, the rest of the WNBA was left staring at their own modest paychecks. The league's top salary sits at $249,244 a year, about what Clark was offered per game by the Big 3. With a hard salary cap in place, no player can earn beyond that number, making the entire pay structure completely out of touch with what stars like Clark are truly worth. That's why players such as Kelsey Mitchell, the current highest-paid player, and Jackie Young, with her $504,900 two-year deal, can't help but view Clark's rejected offer with a mix of awe and envy. Compared to what Clark could have earned, their salaries look like rounding errors. But here's the irony. Clark's decision to stay in the WNBA is exactly why those salaries might rise. With the new CBA negotiations on the horizon, projections suggest max contracts could jump to $1 million, a 300% increase from today's numbers. And that only becomes possible because Clark chose to invest in building the league's brand, instead of cashing out for instant gratification.
Trying to destroy her from within, and it's the players. Realistically, I know we're out of time. WNBA last year was the first year in its like 25-30 year existence that it was profitable. Made $1 million, but it was the first time that it didn't lose money because the NBA supplements. Well, when Caitlin Clark comes to town, you have to go from the 8,000 seat WNBA arena to the 30,000 seat whatever arena across town because of ticket sales and all of the apparel and all of this stuff that's coming from Caitlin Clark. And you're just like, okay, but
When Caitlin Clark announced she was staying in the WNBA, front office executives probably needed medical treatment for stress-induced heart palpitations. The league has been riding the Clark wave since her college days, and losing her would have been like an airplane losing its engine mid-climb. Every TV contract, every sponsorship deal, every expansion team writing checks in the hundreds of millions, it all traces back to the phenomenon Clark created. She hasn't just raised the profile of women's basketball, she's rewritten the business model. The WNBA has shifted from a niche product struggling to survive into a legitimate entertainment brand that can compete for national attention. Nothing illustrates that better than her rookie card selling for $660,000 at auction, a single piece of cardboard worth more than her entire 4-year WNBA contract. That's not just collectible hype, that's cultural impact you can measure. And when a trading card outpaces a player's real salary, it's proof the league's compensation system is completely out of step with reality.
I mean, obviously the meetings that are going to happen in Indianapolis are going to be really important. And, although I'm not our team rep or on the committee, like I'm still, trying to understand and engage as much as possible. Obviously, this is my second year in the league, but also this is like a very important time for our league and where it's going to continue to grow. So, I'm certainly looking forward to those meetings and being in them. And I think everybody in our league is to help these CBA talks continue to move forward. So, should be very important for us on Thursday. Yes, I'll be there.
Caitlin Clark has stepped fully into the role of a humble champion, navigating the chaos around her with textbook leadership. While some players complain about the spotlight and fight for media scraps, Clark talks about the joy of fans, the memories families make at games, and the excitement of kids watching women's basketball for the first time. She isn't chasing trophies or headlines, she's building a legacy for an entire generation. When asked why she turned down the Big 3's $15 million offer, Clark didn't frame it as sacrifice or nobility. Instead, she immediately shifted the conversation back to the fans and the future of women's basketball in America. That's not PR spin, that's genuine understanding of what this moment means beyond her own bank account. And let's be crystal clear about what she accomplished by saying no. Clark willingly chose to be underpaid for the sake of something bigger. The WNBA's salary system will never truly reflect her value to the league. But she still chose potential over instant gratification, growth over quick cash, and building something lasting over capitalizing on a trend.
$660,000 is insane. I'm sure there are plenty of cards out there that have gone for more than that. One, It is her second year. What are we doing? Like, I get that the Caitlin Clark fanfare is the whole thing. I think she's a great basketball player.
This story was never really about money, it's about vision. Caitlin Clark saw an opportunity to take women's basketball from charity case status to a legitimate entertainment powerhouse, and she chose to stay to finish the job. While jealous peers complain about equal billing in a narrative that wouldn't even exist without her, Clark remains focused on the only thing that matters, building something that will outlast every one of their careers combined. For now, the WNBA can exhale. Their golden goose isn't flying the coop. But they'd better figure out how to fairly compensate the woman who single-handedly saved their league before someone else makes an offer she can't refuse. Because next time, even Clark's legendary loyalty might not outweigh the cold math of being worth billions but paid like a recent college grad. The panic may be over, but the lesson is clear. Sometimes the most valuable player isn't the one demanding the biggest paycheck, it's the one willing to sacrifice for something greater. Caitlin Clark just proved that champions aren't only made on the court. Sometimes, they are made by walking away from the biggest payday of their lives to chase something even greater, legacy.
She's smarter than a lot of people think at the end of the day, and I'm pretty sure she has a lot of stock options. You hear me? She's the face of the league. That lets me know y'all going out y'all way to get her to come play for y'all, whatever y'all built, know what I'm saying? And that's cool, but at the end of the day, her focus is the WNBA. Nobody can't tell me that she ain't the face of the league. Matter of fact, since she turned it down, how about you go get Angel Reese? I know.
And that's why Caitlin Clark's story is bigger than basketball. It's about vision, sacrifice, and legacy. She chose the hard road when the easy money was right there in front of her, and in doing so, she just might have changed the future of the entire sport. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay updated on all the drama, milestones, and history being written in the WNBA, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're just getting started, and you won't want to miss what comes next.